Welcome back for another video. I'm Ehabad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to take a look at the Ukko fusion schedule, and we'll also actually be doing some summoning as well. So first up, let's go and look at the Mighty Ukko. I do think the champion is excellent. I'm not going to spend too long on it. I know a lot of content creators have given you their thoughts already. I think the A1 is very strong, a little bit like Necmo. You've got a really good chance to put decrease attack on an A1 on an AoE basis. That's extremely useful in Hydra. I think this champion's going to be a bit of a Hydra specialist with a bit of usage in Arena, much like everyone else has said. The A2, the problem with this one in Arena is there's a lot of protected buffs going around, and unless you fully strip the target of all buffs, you won't get the important debuffs of block buffs and decrease accuracy. But this won't be an issue in Hydra unless you're getting a lot of buffs stolen from Mischief Head, which means you're doing Hydra wrong. So need to be avoiding letting Mischief take all your buffs. So this will be a fantastic ability for Hydra, and effectively, if you don't have Ukko, I think Mighty Ukko will be a champion that you can use in that position very effectively. And I'll definitely be using Mighty Ukko in one of my teams, most likely in my third Hydra team, where I don't currently have an Ukko, and that team is not as consistent as I'd like it to be. Then on the A3, if we build our teams correctly, we hopefully won't be in a position where we'll actually need to be reviving champions. So this will effectively be a increase speed on a AoE basis on a 4-turn cooldown, which, okay, if you strip out the revive, it's not a fantastic ability, but at least you have the additional ability of actually reviving champions if something goes wrong on the RNG side. So I think you can get away with not bringing any other reviver and just relying on Ukko if you have that sort of unlucky streak and you do end up with a champion dying. So it's overall a very good ability. Right then, if we move over to the schedule, I have created it in my usual format. I do expect the champion training that will start on Monday will likely have a legendary tome within it, and obviously we'll be going after that. We also have some nice overlap with CVC, being that we have Artifact Event 1 and Fire Knight overlapping with CVC. So make sure you don't do any of your artifact enhancement on the Monday and save that for CVC. I think during CVC we'll mostly be doing Fire Knight 25 for maximum points, and we'll also try and make sure we have some rank ups ready for the champion training portion with the overlap on CVC. So on the Monday, be getting food ready, but hold off on all the rank ups until CVC starts. And if you do have any 6-star rank ups and 6-star ascensions, definitely save those for CVC. Otherwise, you'll notice that I've said I'm not going to do the champion chase, which does overlap with the 2x sacred, so I'll be skipping 2x sacred this time. Instead, I'm going to do the summon rush and get all 20 fragments there. This is for two reasons. One, the first 5 fragments on Summon Rush are actually pitched quite high, a little bit over 4 sacreds worth of points required, whereas to get the full 20, we only need to pull 7 sacreds, so the additional or marginal sacred requirement is just 3. I expect to get the 15 fragments from Champion Chase, you would have to pull around 7 to 10 sacreds anyway. So for me, it's more efficient just to pull 7 sacreds now and not have to worry about any additional summoning requirements or any RNG on those pulls, which obviously with Champion Chase, you are slightly reliant on RNG as legendaries give you higher points, so you don't know the exact return on each shard. Overall, I think the schedule kind of fits together quite smoothly. There's not really any significant crunch time. Obviously, we know CVC is going to be a bit of a crunch time anyway, but not so much in terms of energy usage. Probably the most difficult area will be managing this champion training if we're going for the legendary book. Since it's CVC, I'm expecting to be using additional sources of energy to maximize my CVC points anyway, so I will be using some gems during this time. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. That said, and there is one big caveat to all of this, we do now have the Twins Fortress, which is using energy every day if we want to be farming that. So we will have less energy every day to do this fusion than we have been having, for the last sort of year worth of fusions. So make sure you've planned that accordingly. You may need to end up using additional gems during this fusion to balance all the requirements, including twins farming. You might want to buy more energy from either TTA Bazaar or the clan shop, for instance. I mean, personally, you should be buying the tag team arena Bazaar energy on a weekly basis anyway. But for me, I hadn't been buying the clan shop energy previously. And I think this week, given we have CVC, the fusion, and twins all going on concurrently, I'll be buying that energy this time. And I'm expecting to buy more energy refills through gems for this fusion period. I think that more or less covers what I'm going to do on the fusion itself. And I think we've covered the skills and abilities of the champion itself, and that it is well worth getting. Will fit very nicely in a number of Hydra compositions. Potentially, once the fusion's done and the champion's built, I might try and build a team around Mighty Ukko and give you guys some ideas and thoughts on how I will construct that team. Right then, the only thing left to do, as I mentioned, we're going to go and summon 7 Sacreds. Right then, as mentioned, if we have a look at the summon rush at 3,500 points, which is 7 Sacreds, we will get the full 20 fragments of Ukko. But the last row does not represent great value to me personally. I don't particularly care for XP barrels, feasts, and I'm even not that fussed about chickens, to be honest, because by maximizing my champion training points, I typically end up creating food from scratch rather than using chickens. So the only thing that interests me down here are 2 legendary books. Given that this would take an extra, 7 sacreds to get to here or 8 sacreds to get to the feast, an additional 8 sacreds really just for 2 legendary books. Personally, I'm not going to bother. I'd rather save those for a future guaranteed or a future event. If there'd been 3 legendary books here, I may have considered it, particularly if I was in a position where, say, I didn't have a Duchess, but I do have a Duchess. So for me, the 10x isn't that exciting, and the bottom row does not represent great value, in my opinion. So I will be pulling 7 Sacreds and then holding shards for future events. Right then, let's get into it. 7 Sacreds. Hopefully we'll get a legendary, but I have no expectations, to be honest. First up, what have we got? An epic, Lady Quillen. I think that might actually be new. I don't remember if I have Lady Quillen. Another epic, 3rd Sinacia. Very good champion. Excellent for faction wars, for a secret room or 2. Just good champion overall. Broodlord, I think underrated. I haven't actually built him out yet, fully, but I do like the chance to stun on an AoE basis. I know it's only 50%, but that typically is as good as it gets from an epic side. Who will be our 4th champion? And what have we got? Another epic. Old Gruckus. Actually used him in Ogren Tribe's Faction War 21 budget video, but besides that, not a great champion. What now? Rector, fantastic champion if you don't have her. I think this is my 3rd or 4th Rector, but absolutely fantastic champion for Faction Wars, for the Night Rev, Epic Secret Room, for Doom Tower overall. Just great champion. Good in Hydra as well. And Quaggan the Crowned, also used him in Faction Wars originally, but he's not that good. But he's okay for Faction Wars if you need someone to help out. He does have an AoE heal, which lizards are somewhat lacking. Aox is much better at it if you have Aox, but if you don't and you do have Quaggan, he's not the worst. Bit of a heal, some decent buffs overall. I just don't like the split buff mechanic where, you know, your attack-based champions get the Veil and increased attack, and your defense champions get the block debuffs and increased defense. I'd rather have block debuffs on everyone, you know, and then choose between the increased attack and increased defense. That would be fine. I wouldn't mind that, but I would have preferred to have block debuffs on everyone. Anyway, last shard. Hopefully we'll get gold, but like I said, I have no expectations. Another epic. Magnar, fantastic epic. I mean, a really strong set of epics we've pulled in these 7 shards. But, you know, I have 2 or 3 Magnars as well, so not really going to do anything for me. But fantastic champion, the double hit on the 8-2 being what everyone does. So, great champion. Very strong. And there we have it. That is the summon rush done for us. 20 fragments down. Collect all of that up. I'll hold on to that energy for now. I'm on track with Ice Golem, and I'll probably use that energy in the twins when we get the reset. Just pick up that mystery shard, and that's that for now. Haven't really had much luck on the old Altar of Souls. We can do a 10 pull though, just to finish the video off. Let's do a 10 pull on the small soul shards and see what we get. I haven't had anything really usable yet. Bought a couple of things from the shop. 4-star Bellower. That's actually decent. Is on the wish list for the rares. First time I've actually pulled something from the wish list. But as you can see, nothing to get too excited about. If we do look at the Soul Collection, I did buy 1-star Leoris and 1-star Duchess from the marketplace. I haven't bothered applying them yet, partly because 1-star doesn't really give you any meaningful gains, and secondly, I don't really know what the second reason is. I just haven't yet. I haven't really had time to kind of sit down and really think about it, so I'll probably need to do some selling of some of these shrapnel. But yeah, the Bellower could be interesting. 4-star at least is getting to something of meaningful. Let's just collect those coins up, and actually the last thing I'll show is the wish list that I've set. So I have put Leoris, Duchess and Romantu as the 3 legendaries to start off. Although on secondary consideration of what the blessings actually are, they seem, at least in my opinion, very much more tailored towards damage dealers than supports. So I potentially would swap one of these to be Candraphon, but I'll keep it like this for the time being. And then on the epic side, I've got the 3 epics that I typically use as damage dealers in Hydra. And then on the rare side, 3 effectively damage dealers I use in the most kind of content. Coldheart, Bellower, and Soulborn Boya get used across multiple areas, more than any other rare anyway. So that's how I've decided to fill up my wish list on the Soulstones. So there we go. We'll deal with those later. I would say that is that for now. I hope you find this useful, and I hope everyone's able to get the fusion. I do think Mighty Ukko is well worth your time and investment. So there we are. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.